how do we get the UAE's human rights violations on the agenda of Western governments? How do we get more UK MPs interested? How do we get you guys on board? I know that last year, 24 UK MPs passed an early day motion, but then since then, there's kind of nothing has really happened. So my question is, how can we get your support?
Thanks, Andy. My question is, this is a really important meeting and it comes at a really interesting time because last week we saw the detention, if you want to call it that, of the three sisters of a prisoner of conscience, the Suwaidi sisters, and we've not had any information about them since. And that's particularly worrying given that, actually what's happened is there's been no information, there's been letters and protests and all kinds of things, but UAE government haven't released any information about the current status of these three sisters. So my question is really, how do we kind of get pressure to the UAE government to get them to start releasing information, but also this kind of wider issue that Drury touched on of them targeting families? What do we do in response to that particular issue of how, when the UAE is targeting families, how do we respond to that, and how can we get the UAE government to not take it out on the families?